Imagine this for a second. It's the end of the month. You've paid all your bills, saved for the future, and still have money left over to spend on the things you love. Sounds like a dream, right? But here's the reality check. Most people live paycheck to paycheck, drowning in financial stress. What if I told you that one simple rule could completely change your relationship with money? A rule so powerful, it's been used by financial experts and millionaires alike to build wealth, create financial freedom, and still enjoy life to the fullest. In this video, I'll break down the 50-30-20 rule, a budgeting framework that's not just easy to follow, but could be the difference between living paycheck to paycheck or living your dream life. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end, because I'll share a game-changing tip that'll make this rule work even better for you. So let's dive in and take control of your finances, starting today. Part 1. What is the 50-30-20 rule? Act 2. The buildup. Scene. Visual of someone overwhelmed by bills and expenses. Cut to visuals of neatly organized budgets and savings goals. Voiceover. The 50-30-20 rule is as simple as it gets. 50% of your income goes to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings or debt repayment. It's the golden ratio of personal finance. But let's break it down. First, the 50%, your needs. This is where the essentials come in. Rent, groceries, utilities, insurance, transportation. Think of it as the stuff you can't live without. Here's the catch, though. Most people think their needs take up way more than 50%. But do they really? That premium gym membership? Not a need. Ordering takeout 4 times a week? Not a need. Here's where the fear comes in. If you're spending more than 50% of your income on needs, it's a red flag. You could be setting yourself up for a financial disaster if an emergency strikes. So take a moment and think, are your needs really needs? Or is lifestyle creep sneaking in? You know that little voice convincing you you deserve a $6 coffee every day. Don't worry, we'll fix this together. I'll show you how to identify your true needs in a bit. But first, let's move on to the fun part. Your wants. Scene transition. Light-hearted music plays with visuals of people enjoying hobbies and dining out. Part 2. The 30%. Wants. Act 2 continued. Scene. Someone splurging on a weekend trip, treating themselves to gadgets or dining out. Voiceover. Ah, the wants. This is the part of your budget that makes life fun. Dining out, Netflix subscriptions, vacations, hobbies, all the stuff that makes you excited to wake up in the morning. But here's the reality check. This category is where most people overspend. Why? Because your wants have a sneaky way of disguising themselves as needs. Quick question for you. Do you really need the latest iPhone? Or is your current one still perfectly fine? Here's the deal. Allocating 30% of your income to wants allows you to enjoy life without guilt or overspending. It's a system that gives you permission to splurge, but only within reason. And hey, if 30% feels like not enough, here's a little secret. By optimizing your needs, you can free up more cash for your wants without going over budget. Stick with me. I'll show you how to do this soon. But before we jump into the most important category, your savings, I want to ask you something. What's the one thing holding you back from saving more money right now? Think about it, because the next part is where we unlock the real magic of the 50-30-20 rule. Scene transition. Suspenseful music builds as we shift to visuals of a piggy bank growing larger and someone calculating their savings. Part 3. The 20%. Savings and debt repayment. Act 2. Cotton now for the most important part of the rule, the 20%. This is where your future comes into play. This 20% is your ticket to financial freedom. It goes towards building your emergency fund, saving for big goals like a home or retirement, or paying off debt. Here's where most people struggle. They think, I can't afford to save. But the truth is, you can't afford not to save. Let me paint a scary picture for you. Imagine losing your job tomorrow. How long could you survive without an income? A week? A month? If the thought of that makes you uneasy, it's time to prioritize your savings. Start small if you have to. Even saving $5 a day can add up to over $1,800 a year. The key is consistency. Treat your savings like a non-negotiable expense. And if you're drowning in debt, focus on paying it off aggressively. Remember, debt is the biggest obstacle to building wealth. The faster you clear it, the sooner you can start growing your financial future. Scene transition. Upbeat music begins, showing someone achieving financially.